I'm Manish Kumar Jha in Porto. In Portugal, Porto is famous for, it's one of the best wine in the world, but it's also famous for some of the new technologies and innovation that takes place this part of the world in the Portugal. One of the things I'm talking about here is bridge. Bridge connects humanity. Bridge is very important for any country, for the development of the infrastructure. But people, when they connect together, we call there's a bridge. But bridge also connects one region to another region. Bridge connects people in the mountain, in the river, in the tough terrain of the world, and that's how the economy takes place. The growth takes place, and thereby a company called BERD, who's known for such innovation, is here. I'm going to talk about them. Established in 2006, BERD is the world leader in methods and solutions for bridge and viaduct construction. They have a solution, innovative solution for 21st century for different market for around the world, and they are interested in particularly in the Indian market. India is a growing company, an emerging nation, and requires a huge infrastructure, efficiency, investment, technology, and BERD is thereby is keen to enter Indian market to provide solution to civil engineering and also to the military construction. I'm here to talk about, with me, if I pronounce correctly, Jose Pedro Matos Fernandez.
Correct.
He's a director, he's in charge, he's an engineer, and also gentleman DIOGO GRAÇA MOURA. He's a vice president of the BERD company. I'm going to talk about what solution they have for the market, especially in India. And India is a diverse geography, tough terrain, the mountain, the river, the desert, and we need a huge such solution where they connect people, connect region. How do we going to do that? We're going to talk about first. So tell me, Jose, what is the solution you have for the bridge technology, especially in the modular bridge technology?
So, BERD, we established this new business area in 2016 after more than 10 years of innovation of method construction of bridges, and we identified there was a gap in the innovation of the modular bridge. The standard modular bridge solutions that are common around the world are the Bailey bridge. The Bailey bridge was a technology, it was a English engineering of the Second War who developed technology of Bailey bridge.
Yes.
And that technology didn't innovate, evaluate during since that data. So we identify about our experience of design steel structures since 2006. That we can incorporate our know-how and our DNA in solution of modular bridges. And this type of innovation could be not only in the efficiency of the structure, also in the new limits. So we establish a new models that could go to spans at 120 meters. We innovate about solution can be used for temporary and also for permanent situations. So we start with this type of solution.
Okay, so when a client approaches you for the solution from a market which is far from Portugal, say the market in India, market in Peru, how do you visualize the concept? How do you find the solution? What do you do to come up with a solution to make bridge in that country?
Well, one of our way of work is to first to understand the problem and trying to adaptate our solutions. As you probably know, our slogan is one bridge, one solution.
Okay.
So we have this way of work to try to identify the problem and to adaptate the solutions to the situation that we are studying. So in Peru, that you are talking, we now are finished a contract of 150 bridges in Peru, and it was a country that had several problems of El Niño. It's a climate, how do you say?
Phenomenon.
Phenomenon.
Yes.
That in 2017 that disaster more than collapse more than
A lot of
70.
rains, a lot of floodings, just like with the monsoons in India.
India,
That's
yes.
why we established a parallel between what is going up now in India in some of the states
Yes.
and what happens in some of the countries in South America. It's the same problem. It's different scale, different approaches, but the same problem. It's extreme weather that causes problems to populations. And with our solutions, as José was saying, we try to understand what is the problem in each situation. In the case of India, and we think we have very interesting propositions for the Indian market, because our products, our modular bridge solutions can really help the population.
Okay.
Because they are fast to deploy, and with this it's good for disaster recovery.
Okay.
It's good also for the military actions, because many of the actions of the military now are done during peace times. So the Indian Army has a lot of work in
Yes.
peace times.
Yes.
So we know that the Army Corps of Engineers, for example, does a lot of work in infrastructure.
Yes.
And also it can be a very good way to install bridges in a fast and effective way for permanent bridges, not only for temporary bridges in cases of disaster recovery, but also in the case of a permanent structure, when there is a high demand, high need of permanent structures. It's much faster to use a modular bridge.
Yes.
Than a bridge that has to be built with concrete.
Yes.
or so on site.
So civil engineering is changing, the fast changing with technology. You have element of robotics, you have element of artificial intelligence. I want to understand what kind of technology or range of technology you use in building bridges. What solutions we have as far as bridges is concerned.
Well, in the modular bridge solutions,
Yes.
we try to be simple as possible. Once, as Diogo was saying, this type of bridges has to be installed for very fast, with sometimes not with teams that are very trained. So we have to be simple as possible to have a technology product, but at the same time that not incorporate some difficult and to turn it as simple as possible. Instead of this type of construction method that were constructed since 2006, that are a little bit different, and you can
Are very high technology. Actually, we are breaking new records constantly and creating new patents for new products. So recently, in a high-speed train in Turkey, we have broken the record for the biggest span cast in place. So it's the technology is used in our engineering, but it's also used in the machines that you see that we are using for constructing the bridges. So we really try to innovate, and as José said in the beginning, our motto is one bridge, one solution. So we don't try to sell off-the-shelf products. We try to focus on what is the bridge, what is the problem to be solved, and focus on the solution for a specific problem. And that gives our customers the guarantee that we will get a solution for their problem. We are not going to sell something that we want to sell. We are going to sell something that fits his problem.
So for the Indian market and the solution for the Indian market, Diogo, could you explain us from the fundamental and from the foundation point of view what exactly BERD provides? And you have market across the world. Could you explain to us about your core business competency and what can you do to the Indian market?
Well, the Indian market is huge, and is due to the development of the country is growing at a very fast pace. So we are studying the Indian market for a quite long time, and we are already in the the machines to build bridges business unit, we are already working with some companies in India to provide them the construction machines for some important infrastructures that are taking place in India. Also in the modular bridges business unit, we are looking for a partnership with local companies. We know that there are a lot of competent, innovative and active and proactive companies in India, and we want to partner with Indian companies. We think that India is a very capable country.
Yes.
And our idea is to invest in India, to be there, to be present locally, not bring things from Portugal. It's our engineering, of course, we invented the product, but we want to partner to manufacture in India. Yes. And to have this partnership to be mutual beneficial. Yes. For our company and also for our partner and for the Indian market as a whole, because we will bring solutions that are innovative. Yes. And can have value to the population and to the country as one.
So Diogo, could you talk about some of your work which you have accomplished around the world in solving the complex bridge modular problems in the modular area? Could you talk about some of the solutions which you have provided across the world in the market you have gone, say Brazil or Peru?
Yes, as you know, all the markets are very different and they all have different issues. Working in Mexico or in Colombia or Brazil or Turkey or Egypt or whatever country we are talking about, or Peru or whatever, it's totally different. That's why we have to have an approach that is not to try to implement our model.
Yes.
Is to try to study each country individually. We want to be local. We want to understand things as local and bring our technology, because our technology can help people, and that's what we have seen in many countries that we work with. For example, in Turkey, the high-speed railway. Yes. That we are finishing now, it was going to cost a lot more.
Okay.
And with our solution, the public, the Ministry of Transport has spared a lot of money, because with our innovation we could make a more efficient bridge.
Okay.
And so they spent less money. So it's taxpayers' money.
Okay.
So the country can make more with less. That's very important.
So could you specifically talk about through technology, the change you bring that saved money?
Yes, the change that we made in this specific case in Turkey was to change from a traditional construction method, which was balanced cantilever construction.
Okay.
To a MS movable scaffolding system that is cast in place. Yes. one span at a time. And the innovation here was to change the process. Yes. But also to go to a much bigger span. Yes. We went to 90 meters, something. Yes. That has never been done, and to do it with a traditional method would cost a lot more.
Yes.
And using a different approach, a different machine and a different technology, and something that have never been done before, has brought a significant amount of money spare in this job. So the technology behind our machines is the OPS, as you can see. Okay. Here.
Yes.
OPS stands for Organic Pre-Stressing System.
Yes.
And this is it's an interesting story. Our technology is based on the human muscle.
Okay.
So our CEO, he is a professor at the University of Porto.
Okay.
He is also he is a researcher, and when he was doing his PhD, he tried to study the structures in nature. Okay. And tried to see what could we learn from nature. That was very interesting, because we understood that nature is much more efficient than an engineer.
Yes.
So if a human body was designed by an engineer, we would be monsters.
Yes.
So it's really nature is incredible. So we try to learn with nature, and one of the things we learned is that the most important thing in our arm, for example, is not the bone, it's the muscle. The muscle is the thing that gives strength and stiffness to the arm, not the bone. People tend to think, oh, the bone is what is strong here, but no, it's not. It's the muscle. And then we thought, okay, we have these machines that have to handle a lot of load. They have to imagine building a span, all the concrete and the rebar that you put in on top. It's thousands of tons, and you do it, and it's only when the concrete is still fresh and not solid that you have a lot of load, but that load does not support itself. Once it's dry, it's finished the bridge and it supports itself. So what we thought is that we need like a muscle that will handle the load while it's not supporting itself. That's how we thought, oh, maybe we need a muscle. And we found, we designed a copy of the human muscle using different things. Like we use a computer like the brain. A computer is the brain. We use hydraulic jacks as the muscles. We use cables as the tendons, and we use sensors as the nerves in the human body. So with all this technology, we came up with OPS, which is no more than humble copy of the human muscle.
I really like what you said. In the modern engineering and the advancement today, when you derive technology solution symmetrical with the nature, something that you can take from nature and sync with the nature and then provide solution to that. But in today's era, you have something like artificial intelligence, the machine learning, and such a new advancement. Where do you see this technology contributing to your modular design as far as bridge is concerned, from the engineering point of view?
At the moment we are developing, we have some projects with partnership with the university, like trying to have some sensors in the modular bridge solutions, to try to make the most information as possible, to understand the numbers of vehicles that pass on, the deformations, and to monitorize the service of the bridges at the moment. So we, in the modular bridge solution area, as you know, and as we talked, it's used for the military, for the emergency, so we have to have the simplest possible solution to be installed for every people, but at the same time trying to make upgrades in the innovation. So one of the difference that we have, since the Bailey Bridge are more how do you say, not heavy, it's less lighter as possible. So introduce some designs that can have at the moment less and less weight of the bridges, and to have some simple examples, like I said, of sensors that can help and during the life of the bridges
of course possible. But there is also, at BERD, we are also working with artificial intelligence in another business unit that is not the machines to build bridges nor the modular bridges. We are creating another area which is bridge intelligence, which is another business unit that is exactly to apply artificial intelligence to bridge design, and that is something that is still in some secrecy, because it's an incredible product. And but it's going to be, we think it's going to be a huge success, because it's going to be able to design bridges, calculate costs of bridges in a matter of seconds. So imagine something that is done by a lot of people and takes a lot of time. it can be done by a machine in seconds.
Yes.
It's something that we are doing. It's incredible. We have some prototypes, and it's going to be, we think, a huge success. It's going to be to see the light, the daylight, only probably in 3 years from now, because it's a very complex algorithm and very complex structure.
Yes.
But it's going to be something very interesting. Of course, we will be sharing the news when they come up. For now, it's a little bit secret because
Yes.
the circuit is the base of the.
India has a very vast and landscape. As I said, it has a mountain terrain, it has a river
desert,
and of course, a different requirement. The requirement for the civil construction is different from the requirement from the military point of view. Basically, military requires a faster process and quicker, more efficient. How do you differentiate between these two? And do you have technology for the both, or it is a one technology fits all solution?
No. It's. I think Jose is better able to answer your question. But we have both things separated. Even the norms are different. But
the standards and as you know, in the military tactic, let's say, you have of the bridges, you have the assault bridges. There are the bridges that have to be installed in seconds, right? But they are for short spans. And then we have the, let's say, the logistic bridges. There are the bridges that we develop. They are the bridge after you have the peace zone, or everything is okay. So you have to install the fast, of course, but not in seconds. The bridges for you can pass with all the military. So at that we are develop some new solutions. There are some particularities, difference of the civil.
Okay.
At the moment we are testing at the moment with the Portuguese Army some new solutions.
But it is based on the same OPS technology?
No, they don't have that technology. They of course based of the steel structure that are in the MSS solutions, but not with the OPS, because OPS is for
variable loads.
Yeah, variable loads, and needs some energy, and in the fields of the war of that sometimes there are not this type of energy that is necessary.
But I think it's interesting to know that even the regulations that you can see here that where is it, the
load capacity, we have
different different standards. For example, for
the military
is this
TANAG, it's a
So the different approach to civilian construction,
yes,
on the military construction, of course, and you have the solution for
the both.
For the both,
yes,
basically.
yes, yes.
So DIOGO, specifically coming back to the Indian market, what exactly are you looking for? Are you looking for the collaboration with the Indian partner, bringing your technology, your worldwide expertise, because you have been to some of the toughest market, in Southern America, in many countries, found solution for them, and you want to collaborate, engage with Indian partners, and contribute to the Indian economy?
Yes.
Could you talk about your interest, your way through in the Indian market, what you're looking for?
Yes, sure. What we are looking, and I think, as I said before, we believe a lot in the Indian capacity.
Yes.
We have met not only in India very capable people.
Yes.
Not only in India, all over we have interacted with Indian people, and we know that the Indian people is very well prepared and very capable. So we don't have much to teach to the Indian people. What we do have is the technology that we have developed, and that is something that we are willing to disposal of the Indian market, because we think these are great solutions, and that they can contribute to the improvement of the quality of life of some of the population.
Yes.
And for that, I think the best way, because in India there are a lot of capable companies and capable people, I think we should be looking for a partnership with a capable company, and that's what we are looking for. We are going to be in India, and talk with some companies, and we hopefully we will establish not only a commercial collaboration but also a manufacturing collaboration. We want to manufacture our bridges in India. It doesn't make sense to fabricate elsewhere because we know in India there is a lot of capacity to fabricate,
yes,
and with good quality and good price. So as BERD, we already are used to buy in India. We already buy Indian products to incorporate in our
yes,
machines. So
yes,
we know that in India the quality is good, the price is good, and we have a big confidence in what is made in India. So we would like to make in India our products, make it locally for the local market with local partners, and transfer. It's like a technology transfer.
yes. As you said, Bird, you were one of the pioneers, of course, in modular bridge technology. But the shift of technologies every day is so fast around the world.
Yes.
Now, down the line, 5 years, how do you see yourself as a company? You look at your company growing in area, and how do you see yourself diversifying, in different segment of engineering with cutting edge technology innovation? Where do you look at now, down the line?
I think whatever we can dream and think about is never going to be exactly what happens because our experience that the reality always overpasses our ideas. So what we know is that we put a lot of effort in research and development and innovation, and that is what makes us to be one step ahead of our competitors. And by investing a lot of our budget in research and development, we are sure that we are getting every day better products that fit the market necessities, and we are always trying to be with a lot of attention to what the market is asking. So what we do is we invest to bring to the market better solutions, but we are an engineering company. So in the field of engineering there are these two areas that we talked about. There is this artificial intelligence
Yes.
system with bridge calculations that I also told you about that we are developing, but many more possibilities can happen. We are always thinking on registration new patents, and only nobody knows what can happen. It's really some kind of spirit and some kind of attitude that we have, that is the attitude of innovating every day in everything we do, that is capable of transporting us to a bright future. That's what we can promise, to invest and develop new technology.
Would you also like to talk about your investment in Indian market in terms of revenue? If you have something in your mind.
We made some research about the Indian market. We don't have so much organized data, but we know that is a huge market. It's a market that is affected, unfortunately. There are extreme weather in some parts of India due to the monsoons, and some parts of India are heavily affected by those extreme weather conditions. And so we know that in India there is the use of these modular bridges, for example. There is the need also for the use of our the type of the machines that we sell. So I think that Indian market is going to be a very important market for BERD in the future, and I hope that we can correspond to this the need that we feel that there is for this kind of products.
So Indian infrastructure market is huge and massive. India as a cusp of transformation requires such technology, such innovation, and players like BERD, who has a worldwide experience and keen to Indian market, provide their expertise, provide the innovation, collaborate and make in India. I thank you very much, Diogo. Thank you, Jose, for talking with us. Manish Kumar Jha, Business World in Porto, Portugal. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.